Good morning, everyone. This is Eni Oszlai, your financial doctor. And today's guest is my beautiful friend, Randi Goodman. Randi, how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. Thank you, beautiful. And I am just so honored to be here with you because you are just so giving and loving. You wear your heart everywhere, not just on your sleeve, and you're always wanting to help people. So thank you for starting to interview people yourself and share their knowledge with the world, and just love you.
I love you too. All right, so let me introduce you guys, Randi, who she really is, and then she can tell herself as well, what makes her so unique and so amazing. So Randi actually is an amazing realtor, someone who actually is doing way more than your regular realtor that you might find on MLS, because she actually comes with a vast of knowledge and experience and network. So she's an 8 times #1 international best-selling author, international speaker, event promoter, and many, many other things. She's a mother of 4 adult sons and a double black belt karate champion. But again, today we are going to talk about, why you are an amazing realtor and how you are helping your clients, as well as we touch base on some of the new projects that you have, and of course, some of the events as well. Okay, Randi, sounds good?
Thank you, honey.
Perfect. So why don't you tell us about your journey? Because, you really have done so many things and you're wearing so many hats.
Well, thank you. I hated English in school. I was a math and science student. I ended up in accounting, taking a CMA course. I didn't finish, 3 credits short. Ran a manufacturing company when I was 22, and in 4-inch heels and little teeny mini skirts. It was hilarious, but loved it. Loved business. And then I raised my kids. Like, I stayed home and raised kids. I kept a couple side businesses to keep my brain in business. I was chair and on committees at 3 different schools with the kids growing up, and very involved in the schools, doing community events and building them up into these huge, amazing community events when they were these tiny little, school events. And I did years of charity galas and loved working as a team with people and being able to raise money for charity. And of course, that's when I got my 2nd degree black belt as well. And, through those years, so no, I didn't sit on the couch eating bonbons and whatnot, raising kids, but, loved it. And then found myself separated like 12 years ago. And it was like, okay, now what? What am I going to do? So I actually tried some network marketing. I tried working with someone on these little trade shows. I loved business and I loved events. So kind of merging them would probably inevitably be something that I ended up doing. And people used to tell me to do it all the time. And I thought, I don't want to be an event planner. I don't want to work for somebody, that whole thing. So I ended up, I guess, morphing it into something that worked for me, and just built up that community, really dove into marketing. I had to learn all about it. So, it wasn't something that was natural. And then, of course, met someone who I became partners with for a few years, and we started the book writing and publishing together. And now I've created almost 200 #1 international best-selling authors, and being able to help them, being able to help them share their story and get it out to the world is an incredible feeling. And then went back on my own, stayed amicable with my ex-partner, and as we all should, and just kept the journey. But I decided I wanted to take real estate, and probably for like 25 years, people were telling me, go into real estate, go into real estate. And I've been an investor for over 30 years, but I didn't consider actually helping other people. So a few years ago, someone said to me something that just resonated, and you know what? Now is the time to take the course. And I don't remember if it was that the rules are going to change, but it could have been that, but I don't remember. And I went in, and then 2 weeks in, my youngest son said, I can take the real estate course. So it was really cool going to school with my youngest son. It was awesome. And he's in school to be a CPA. So, anyway, so it was just so much fun to do that, and I just dove in. But I took everything that I learned through the personal and professional growth conferences into my real estate career, right? So I'm already a little familiar, plus I'm educated. I have great mentors and amazing people around me, as all of you should in your business. And, just fast track my learning and just keep learning, constant learning and helping people, but then taking the personal and professional growth part, because I know there's quite a stigma when it comes to salespeople or real estate agents. Real estate agents tend to get the bad rap all the time, but we're not all like that. So, some of us want to bend over and help our clients any possible way we can. Some of us don't look at the commission part first. Some of us, you know what I mean? Like, we're really, truly, like you, Eni, we're really, truly out there to help our client. And I know you're heartfelt just like that. And you service your clients that way as well, where even if it's not you, you have no issue referring them out to somebody who would better help them, or that could help them in the realm that they need. And I'm the same cloth, right? Same cloth. It doesn't matter what it is. If I can help them, I'm happy to do that. And for you out there who are in business, it really helps build relationships with people where they really, they want to refer you, because you're really truly putting them first. You're not putting yourself first, but you're putting them first. And trust me, it comes back to you. It will come back to you. It might not come back right away, but it will come back to you. So anyway, my lesson of the day.
Absolutely.
But
And actually, I'd like to add, because we are friends, and we meet quite regularly, and I know how you said that recently there were quite a few realtors who actually picked your brain, or you actually reached out to them to provide advice and help, and whatever was needed to move that property and actually make the sale, where you actually benefited nothing other than creating the good karma and just giving back, which I think is absolutely fabulous and very, very unique. And I guess that's why so many people are approaching you in terms of, okay, can you now help me with my sale, because you're so knowledgeable and so giving. So why don't you tell us a success story in terms of how are you different? Because you also said you're one of those who is really, really out there and helping your clients. So how are you helping more than just making the recommendation, oh, contact with this? Like, give us an example, please.
I know you're probably thinking of a specific one. I'm not sure which one you're thinking of, but I'll tell you, something that I'm thinking of, and then feel free to add to it. So, one instance is a client who, a little bit, scattered, needing some structure, and thinking for a really long time about selling her home, and just didn't feel a push to do it. Nothing motivated her to actually get it done, but she really, really wanted to sell. And any agent she had spoken to would always say, let me know when you're ready. Call me when you're ready. And they just expect that they're going to get that call. And I have to tell you that if you're not involved with this person, chances are whoever shows up at the right time, like I did, is going to be the one who gets the deal. But not just showing up at the right time. If you're making an impact, if you're helping them personally, if you're in there making connections on the spot, getting suppliers, vendors, whoever's needed in there to help them get it done, you can see by their energy and their communication that they really want it to happen. They just don't know how, they don't have a clue how to begin. And, you know, it's the same as a business plan. It's the same as getting a business going. It's the same as starting anything. If you don't actually put something into action, it's not going to happen. And sometimes we need the right people around us to support us and make it happen. So what did I do? I connected her with all kinds of different people, like decluttering and kitchen people and, you know, window people and contractors and whatever. So there was some work to be done on the house. And in order to do that, when someone feels like they're so overwhelmed, they do nothing because they can't get past the overwhelming feeling that there's too much to do and they don't know where to begin. And when you're there to help them and start putting things into place, or at least find one person, if it's not you, that will be like the contractor, kind of controlling everything and making sure everything's moving and they're getting in touch with the right people, nothing's going to happen otherwise. So you're doing yourself a justice, obviously, but you're doing your client a justice too, because they want to move on from their life and maybe start a new life, or start in a new home, or move to a new area, or whatever it is. You know, you have to be there to support them and let them know that you're there. Talk to them, share information with them, help them connect with the right people, or you do it yourself and make it happen. And, you know, I don't like just saying to somebody, okay, you know, I have another client who's wanting to get the house ready and declutter and, you know, do some minor cleanup and whatnot. And what do? I keep sending contacts to them. I keep, you know, they don't want me to call them. They want to call them themselves, which is fair because they want to get the quote and decide who they want to work with. And I give them, you know, a few solutions of people they can connect with. So they're not sitting there searching online and trying to figure out, is this a good person? Is this not a good person? Have you used this person before? Do you know somebody who's used this person before? Like, people like to use people they know are going to do a good job. And not to say that it's going to be 100% every time, because life happens, right? But at least if we have recommendations from people of someone who is good at whatever service that is, then your client is happy. And I'm talking about any career, any business that you have. You know, it's the
I mean,
same
any
thing.
business?
Any, yeah. But, you know, it's the same anywhere. So you have to really care about your client. It's not just about the money. You have to care about them. And listen, the more you impress the you know what out of them, the more likely they are to refer you. I just had a client yesterday, Annie, you don't know this story yet, who I took out to see commercial properties. And, you know, we're talking on the phone, and right away he says to me, I will never go to another agent. You have done so much for me. And all I'm thinking is, what did I do for you? Like, I'm thinking, like, I don't think that I did a heck of a lot for him. And he's like, you have done so much for me. You know, you really don't know what's making an impact on somebody and what you do. If you're giving from the heart and you're doing and you're helping, you don't know how much that person's appreciating what you're doing. And you may not think much of it, because I didn't. To me, it was just normal. I'm just helping my client. And they're over the top impressed, saying, I'm going to refer you. I'm going to use you for residential. I'm going to use you for my commercial, because they have a long-term ongoing business. I'm getting another location. You know, I'm going to use you for this and this. And it's just about making an impact on people. It really is. Like, I didn't expect that at all. And I was grateful and honored that they said this to me, but I didn't expect that at all. So you really don't know. Just keep doing the right thing. Keep servicing people. Keep helping them. You really never know what kind of impact you're making and how that relationship is going to turn into so much more business. Like, it just comes back to you, and I can't stress that enough.
So you know, I mean, you said a lot of things right now. You know, there were quite a few stories, and ultimately what it boils down to is that service is key, you know, giving from the heart. And obviously, you know, that will resonate with people and creates more than just that one relationship, because it multiplies. And actually it was funny because you mentioned at the beginning, you know, exactly the story that I was wanting to highlight, because for that particular client who needed, you know, all these contractors, I know for a fact that you actually not only, you know, contacted this individual with all these contractors, but you actually went out there to make sure that you are now the project manager, so that things are actually happening, and, you know, really helped her to jump over that hoop of being overwhelmed and everything else. So that's really amazing, and that speaks volumes, really. You know, that
Well,
you are not
thank you.
just.
And I, sorry, and yeah, and I forgot to mention that, because yes, I went in there myself and spent a whole day decluttering, right? And it's like, okay, this is not my realm. This is really not what I want to be doing. But I knew this person needs help. They need help, right? So thank you for that. Yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. Yes. Go ahead, hands on too.
So, you know, you really go above and beyond. And, you know, I'm so happy for you that was, you know, your commercial clients are appreciating you. And I know that you have quite a bit of experience, you know, with both residential. So at this point, I think this would be a really good talk a little bit about the market, so that my network understands as well where we stand. This is interesting times with COVID and everything else. So let's talk about how the real estate market is doing, and where, you know, they might be able to look into in case they were contemplating selling or buying or investing in real estate. You know, and you are a real estate investor as well. So share some of the tips and tricks, please.
Thank you, Eni. So it's really amazing. Like, everybody thought with COVID, the market's going to crash and all these terrible things are going to happen. And it surprised us by staying really strong, you know, especially with the homes. And, you know, up like 40% over 2019 as far as sales go. I mean, crazy, crazy numbers. We caught up in this short amount of time. We didn't have the whole year because of COVID. We caught up in this short amount of time to last year's numbers. Like, it's nuts. But let's talk about the condo side. The condo side didn't do as well. The condo side had, you know, a very slim increase over last year. They have an overabundance of inventory out there. And I think that what's been impacting it is not only COVID and students and people not purchasing as much in that realm, but you can see that they are in the home market. But also Airbnb rules changed. So they switched these rules at the same time that we're having COVID going on. And all of a sudden, all these short-term rentals, there are, I don't know how many thousands of condos in the downtown core that are bought for investment purposes and rented out as such. Now, when they're not, and they're rented out under short term because you can make a ton more money on short term. There, of course, are tons that are long term, but you know, with all the short term ones, they were hugely affected because now the rules changed. So, you know, now like an influx of condos came onto the market to be sold because we've got, you know, a few different factors affecting it. So it's amazing that, you know, and I've watched this time and time again. Like 2008, you know, we have a huge downpour. In 2017, we have this one announcement that didn't even affect us locals, and all of a sudden the market crashed. Like, I mean, all it takes is one little thing to happen, one little announcement, one little media comment, one little government comment, and everything can go crazy, up or down. So we've seen it time and time again. All of a sudden we have tons of condos available, and you know, so it's really funny because usually the condo market's crazy strong, and of course it will come back, but you know, the condo market is not doing anywhere near as well as the
Housing market. For the
yeah,
houses,
the
yeah.
home market, but also we're seeing a shift from downtown to up north as well, as the younger people are wanting and choosing to purchase homes and not condos so much. So we're really having quite a few changes in the market right now. And of course, that can change in any second. So by the time someone hears this, it could have changed again, right? But it's really funny to see what happens in the market. And yeah, so
Good
it's
info. So you
pretty
know what,
great.
let's elaborate a little more on this. So why don't you give some tips and tricks for someone who is contemplating either buying or selling, and specifically if someone is an investor, are there any hotspots in the GTA or even further north, as you said, that are still good spots for investing?
You know what? All the spots are good for investing. It depends what your goals and your purpose is, right? Everybody has a different one. So I work with investors as well, and it depends on what they want. Like some investors are looking for crap places that you can tear down and rebuild, and they don't care where they are as long as they can rent them, right? They don't care if they're in the most terrible area of the city. As long as someone's going to pay rent, they're happy because it's all about the numbers. If somebody's looking to live somewhere, then obviously you're looking for an area that you'd be happy living in. And I won't make a judgment call on that, but because everybody has their own choice and their own budget and whatnot of where they want to live. But it's all about figuring out what is your goal. Like, what do you want to get out of it? Is it just for you to live? Is it so that you can earn an income in the property? Is it so that it's purely an investment property? What is it that you want? And is it rentable in that area? Are there Airbnb rules in that area? Are you looking at long-term or short-term leases for people to rent out? Is it your principal residence that you want to live in? Are there's so many factors, Eni, that will decide whether an area is good or not, right? Or how expensive the area is or not. So it's really individual, and I'm happy to chat with anybody about, what it is that they're looking for. And there'll be pockets in different townships that are better than other pockets. And there are experts in all those areas who know those areas really well that can help with that. But we also have tons of stats that are available to us for the different areas in order to help our clients with that information as well. So it's really individualized based on their goals and their intent. And I'm happy to chat with anybody on that.
That's amazing. So I really love how, you are not, providing a cookie cutter solution, but rather an individualized, unique solution. And just as you mentioned, you not only have the tools, but you have the experts that you are, readily able to call in and, provide the best possible solution for your clients. And I guess that brings us to the next topic. Why is client service a better way to go for anybody who's an agent or just, any business owner versus trying to run after leads? So, share some of your wisdom.
Yeah, I think that and I've done it too. So I'm speaking from experiential learning. So it's we think, what is the quickest, fastest way to do better in our business? Okay, well, I'm just going to pay a lead generation company, or I'm just going to pay whatever to generate some leads for me. And we may not know how to approach our own audience, or we might be afraid to approach our own audience. There's a lot of fears around doing that, especially if you're switching businesses, like I did. Well, I didn't totally switch, I didn't give up, but I added in. And sometimes it's hard to figure out, how do you make that transition? How do you make it happen? And this is where really good people around you come into play. You know, having good mentors or good friends or good coaches that can help guide you. And it's been some of those people who've really helped me get on track and say, wait a minute, I don't need to spend all this money on lead generation systems when I have a huge database and following of people that I should be spending more time having conversations with. And I think this is a learning curve for a lot of people in business, where you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I have the most success the quickest way, right? And you're going to try a whack of things, and we're going to fail at some things. And I don't like to use that word, but you know, we try different things and they either work or they don't. And then what do you take from it? You better be learning something if it didn't work, right? Or you better have success if it did work. So, and do more of it. But when you find something that didn't work, why didn't it work? And then what can you do to make it better? And, you know, it's really diving in deeper and taking the time. You're spending the time on the phone anyway. So instead of spending all that time on the phone with strangers, which is great anyway, because you're making, you know, new relationships, but spend time on the network or the database or the you know, social media following that you already have, and try to build a stronger relationship there. All of a sudden, they'll start noticing you more, or they'll start to, you know, like and comment or share your posts. Maybe they'll pay attention a little more when you connect with them. Maybe they'll open your emails next time. Maybe, you know, like it's, you know, and people get an overabundance of emails. So, you know, you understand how difficult it is for people to actually open an email. So just because, you know, say you have 50,000 people on your list, how many of them are opening it? Well, not a lot, because they get so many emails. So what are you doing to get them to notice you, to want to open the email, to pay attention to what you're doing? And it all comes to service. How are you servicing people? What can you do for people? Like you're interviewing people, you're helping people in so many other ways. You know, do those things. You know, whatever you can to help someone, you know, just reach out. How can I help you? What can I do for you? And, you know, pick up the phone, reach out.
Absolutely. And this is excellent advice, Rani. And I mean, you're doing so much more. I mean, not only do you have an amazing network, and that's part of the reason you're so unique as a realtor, because you really are able to connect people with the right individuals, you know, someone who's the extension of your high services. But at the same time, because of your business background and your DMA background, you're able to analyze things very quickly and then make quick decisions to rechannel and actually get where you need to be, not only you as a person, but also the client. So that's why, you know, the success so high, you know, for your clients as well. So this is excellent advice, and I really appreciate it. Now, because we talked about, you know, those many things that you have been doing, and that, you know, people need to pivot and make the changes. I know that you have a new project on the go. So why don't you share, which is part of, you know, your network, in terms of how they can benefit again from something that is a service that you're providing to them. So share it, please.
Thank you. So with, you know, we've been trying to celebrate the 10th anniversary Toronto Women's Expo. We'll just keep waiting. You know, but, you know, one of the things I've been thinking about for years, but I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I've been thinking about this for years, to create a membership program. And I'm like, how am I going to do this alone? How am I going to provide enough info? And then all of a sudden you get all these self-doubt things coming on, you know. Is it going to be valuable enough? Are you going to offer enough? And I know tons of you, and I'm being really vulnerable here by sharing this, but tons of you out there thinking the same things about whatever it is you're thinking about starting. And, you know, so for years I've been thinking about doing this, and finally it was like, you know what? It's happening. I am going and connecting. I reached out to one person, And I knew this is a person I want to work with on this membership program because, you know, I want to make sure it gets delivered properly. I want to have somebody who's invested. So I partnered with Mimi Thrasher Huberman, who is just a wonderful lady. And we've been through the, you know, the back end, been building this program so that we can deliver to some amazing people out there, you know, all kinds of information that they need. Like, so many people buy into programs, they put them on the shelf and they don't do anything with them. And we wanted to change that and make it different. So yes, there's programs on the shelf, but we want you to be able to actually implement them and use them. So there'll be live trainings, there'll be coaching calls they can tap into, one-on-one coaching calls, you know, all sorts of different information that they can access live or pre-recorded, you know, so they can do it on their own time, or they can tap into different coaching sessions or different webinars or whatever they are, and just have like a ton of information available to them. But what I did is, just so you guys understand the concept, is I took the live event concept and turned it into the membership program. So there's different levels, and I keep calling them tiers, and we keep putting names to them, and I still keep calling them tiers, and we both keep calling them tiers. So I'm going to call it a tier. But basically, there's an education and exposure, and oh my goodness, it's another E word that I'm totally forgetting at the moment, but it's because I keep calling it tiers. So the first level would be comparable to attendees attending the event. So they're looking for information, they're looking to network, they're looking to check it out, feel it out, they want to learn, they want to connect, they want to have a Coach's Corner appointment booked, they want to do discovery sessions, and you know, that's what we consider our tier 1. So those would be our regular members. Then we have our tier 2, which would be comparable to the exhibitors. And the exhibitors are people that want to showcase their business. Maybe they even have a course to share and they want to share it. And they'll have the opportunity to do that. Maybe they want to be interviewed so they can share their business. You know, there's a whole bunch of wonderful things for them, but this is where they actually get more exposure for their business on the tier 2 level. Then the tier 3 level would be compared more to the Coach's Corner expert or the speaker on stage. So for those of you guys out there who are looking to speak on stage, who are looking to have a platform to speak on, obviously you're not speaking on a stage right now, but you know, you want to have a platform where you can do live trainings, where you can really showcase your knowledge and how you help people, and you know, share all your programs, earn money from your programs. You have an opportunity to be, and most importantly, get online bookings 12 months of the year, not just one live day event, which is huge, you know. And so, and there's so much more, but just being able to have these options all year long as opposed to just one live event, one day live event, is really phenomenal for people in business. And I know how much they value doing this and being part of the one-day event. Imagine being able to convert that into an all year round platform that can continue to showcase you on an ongoing basis. So that's really what we're developing here. We have not promoted the main membership yet, as we're building the back end right now for content. So for our tier 3 and our tier 2 to come on board and share information so that we can get it in the system and really be able to help these people and start getting them bookings and start to promote them online. So we're really at the infancy stage of the program where we're building up all that content before we really make a big push out there for the regular membership. So as we want to make sure that we're providing a ton of value and that it's available before we make that big push. But yeah, it's really, really exciting because, it's something I've wanted to do for a really, really long time. So thank you.
And that's actually, again, just shows that we're able to very feet and pivot and so on. I mean, we know that, this online event was the live event was supposed to happen in March, and then look at it now, it's end of September, and you're like, what? How can I truly help my network? And I know that you have hosted many online, actually free sessions for those vendors and exhibitors and coaches corner people, and the members, or the attendees, to actually to connect, which was great. But I personally think that having this membership program is incredibly valuable, because just as you said, it's not a one event per year, even though you actually were hosting 4 in a year, but really it's a 24/7 12-month thing where people are getting appointments booked into their calendars with others that you are channeling them. So this is incredible. I know personally that I've been exhibitor and speaker and whatever else, and attendee many of your events. So I personally have experienced how much it helped for my business. So I'm very excited about this for you and for anyone who will be joining you. And why don't you tell us a little bit about who would be the perfect candidate for a program as such? So who should be reaching out to you to find out more and actually signing up for this?
I think, and thank you for that. I think anybody who's in business, who is looking for exposure online, who's looking for someone to market you, where you have an all-inclusive, option where it's one monthly payment and you get this and this and this and this and everything's on the website.
So basically anybody who's a business owner, or anybody who wants to go into business and want to learn. Is that a fair statement?
Anybody who wants to get the exposure, who wants to really build their business, who doesn't know what to do, or thinks it's going to cost them $1 zillion to do all these different pieces, or have somebody promote them, or to find the audience, or they might be thinking, okay, I got to pay somebody to do my graphics and my social media posts and my emails and my ads and my this and my that, and oh my God, it's going to cost me so much money. They may be like so overwhelmed with that and going, okay, I don't know what to do, and they're just not doing anything, or they're doing it wrong. It's not getting the results that they want, and they don't know what to do, but they don't have a ton of funds to go forward and do what they need to do. We don't do every single thing. Like, we don't send your emails or anything, but if you're a tier 3 coach, speaker, you will be part of emails that go out to thousands of people. So there's different options for you to really have the right exposure that you want for your business. So if you're somebody who's going to coach and mentor people and you want to speak, then the tier 3 would be for you. If you're just looking to get more exposure for your business, be able to offer an online course that's already pre-recorded, then tier 2 would be good for you. If you're not interested in showcasing your business, but you want to learn and you want to connect and network with people, then the regular membership would be for you. So, I do offer a session where they can have a quick call with me if they don't know what's right for them. And, but listen, if you're interested in educating people and drawing them to you that way because you're an expert in your business, then you're either going to look at tier 2 or tier 3, right? You're going to look at those 2 options for building your business. And you can always switch. You can always move up or move down or whatnot in the membership levels. And we just wanted to be able to offer every possible thing that we can, so that people have different options based on their budget, based on their needs, And and you're going to connect with people. It's a community. It's already a community. People feel welcome. They feel like they're part of it when they come to Toronto Women's Expo. We are extending this to an online platform and making it all year round, 365, 66 days of the year versus one day of the year.
I love it. I love it. So really, this is for anyone and everyone, what I'm hearing. So when is it going live?
Well, we've already started promoting for the coaches and the people who just want to showcase their business. So we're actually tapping in privately to our list and approaching people by phone. We did send out an email, but as you all know, nobody opens emails, very few. So we are picking up the phone, as you should in your business too, and calling people and having a little chat with them and explaining what the program's about and seeing if they're interested in participating. And of course, we're offering a special discount for the first couple months so they can try it out and see if this is for them and they want to commit to it for the next 12 months after that, or if if it's for them. So if they feel it's going to work for them. So we are offering that trial period. So we're, excited to be able to share this.
That's amazing. So how can people reach out to you and find out more about this and as well as the real estate opportunity with you?
Well, I think if you reach out to me on social media through you, that would be awesome. They could do it through you or come to me directly, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that they have. I'm a no pressure person. I want to help you answer your questions, and if you're happy with me and you like me, then I'd love to work with you. So it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship, and happy to do that. But otherwise, you can go to torontowomensexpo.com. You can go to randigoodman.com with an I, Randi, or reach out to me on social media, through Messenger, through through commenting on this post, whatever way you feel best. I don't like sharing emails on social media. So if you reach out to me there, I'm always happy to connect with you privately and make it happen there.
I love it. Randi, thank you so much. It's been, such an amazing time with you again and so much information. And I really hope that, my network is really taking, the most out of it because they can only benefit with the connection with you, not only as a realtor, but also, with the promotion of their own business through your network. So kudos to you with everything that you do, and you're always back. Today, I really appreciate your time again. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Have a good day.